Hey, welcome back to the third season kitchen. Hope you all are doing well. Cheers. What do we got going on tonight? This is Two Wolves Great Plains Brown Ale by Torque Brewery. Nom, very yummy. Um, as we get to the end of actually not the end, this is now September, so we're into peak tomato season. Not that I want to do the tomato dish that I did last year, the roasted tomato dish. Unless you want to see the roasted tomato dish done in the new kitchen, which we can do. Tonight, I thought I would do something really simple. Today, whenever you're watching this. And that is you have company over, either in the morning, in the evening, for lunch, what have you, and you want to do a quick mashed potatoes. So what I'm doing is I popped a couple of potatoes into the microwave. I'm doing this in reverse order. Pop a couple of potatoes into the microwave on sensor cook, and it takes about 8.5 minutes or so for a couple of potatoes, which is faster than if you are to be doing it in a pot. Then what I'm doing is I'm making these into basically fried mashed potatoes. And so we basically just take a pan, put some butter and olive oil into it, and then just let these guys cook up slowly. So they get a nice little crust on them, probably because of the butter and the cheese. Very nommy. And back onto the plate it goes. Hot plate it goes. 3 seconds are left on these. I like using a plastic bowl because it holds all the heat in nicely. They're also good for making chocolates, just saying. So out come our 2 potatoes. And as you can see, they are potatoes. Potatoes. I don't like to peel my mashed potatoes. I like them rustic. You can do them however you wish. And then all you do is I like to do it with a fork. I just go in with a fork and I start mashing them up a little, like that. And then, because I have my handy dandy butter cut approximately to, that's a lot of butter. That's too much butter. That's probably about no, it's not enough. That's probably about a solid tablespoon. So we'll throw in a little bit more, and then we'll see how that goes. And then what we're going to do is because this was fresh butter from the fridge, it's still a little bit too cold. We're just going to put it in under the potatoes like that. I watched a cooking episode of somebody else recently said, when you're making mashed potatoes, use melted butter. And somebody in the comments pointed out what I was thinking, which is, what difference does it make? You put butter into hot potatoes, they're going to mash right up. And you can see how the skins break right down and start disappearing. To this, I'm going to add an ounce of, now this is coffee cream. It's just what I had in the fridge. You can also use milk, which I also had in the fridge, but I want to make them a little bit frou-frou-y. So we're going to do that. And we're just going to mix it up a little bit. And then to this, I'm going to add some pre-grated cheddar cheese. So we got the pre-grated cheddar cheese there. For flavoring, just a sprinkle of Cayenne. So a little bit of a festive flavor. Cayenne is a really nifty Mexican seasoned spice. And then a little bit of salt. And then we go back into the mashing process. And what you're going to find is, as you work this, if you need a little bit more butter, you can always add a little bit more butter. If you want to serve these up as a dinner, which we're going to also show you how to do, we're going to do that. And then you have quickie mashed potatoes. So these took about 8.5 minutes in the microwave. And I'm going to guess that I'm up to about 5-6 minutes in the mashing process. So, and they're pretty much almost done. I mean, they might need a little bit more mashing around if you want. And just going to distribute that cheese. If you were using an orange cheddar, you would be able to see it disappear through the potatoes. And if you were using like a Parmesan or a Pecorino Romano, that was hard. Again, it would go like that, would just disappear. Any cheese you like, really. I mean, Mashed potatoes, your kitchen, you do you. Those are ready to go. Just to give you an idea what's happening over here in the pan. So we have, just do a quick flip. And you can see, oh, look at that nice crust. Okay, if you like. So if you're doing this in the morning, you might like that for mashed, for like a mashed hash browns. Just stab that a bit and give a bit more room for that to catch the heat. And if you're going to serve it up onto plates, now I've got some steaks on the barbecue, so those are going to be coming in later, not yet because they just went on. And then you would just do your mashed potato like that. If you want to get, I'm not sure this is going to work, which is another way of saying I shouldn't do this. But what the hey. This is about experimenting, so you never know what's going to shake out. So I do this with rice. So a little raclette, little tiny bowl like that. Nope, I was dumb. Don't do that. I guess if you greased it first, it would pop out. But, or if you just use a fork. So you have the really fancy way of serving it. And then you just like put your steaks over there and maybe some veggies, or just a mound with steak and veggies. And that's it. Quickie mashed potatoes. So I'm guessing that within 15 minutes, you can go from potatoes in the pantry to mashed potatoes on the plate, which is less time than if you had to boil them. Just saying. Also, the nice thing about this is you can go, oh, I want mashed potatoes, and you got them. Or you could fry them on the stove. Anyways, so here we are into the fall. So some of us are back into our third season, the fall season. Maybe we're back at school. Maybe we're thinking we're really back at work, and now I got to start cooking for myself. Great way to do it. Mashed potatoes are a basic everything. You can use this anytime, any meal, all over the place. Gotta love them. They're potatoes. They're magic. If you like this, please make some comments. Apparently, the algorithm likes comments. I'd love some comments. Also, like some more likes and possibly hit that notification bell. Send it to your friends. And with that, I'll say cheers. I'm glad you're here. I really appreciate all my subscribers and random visitors. Hope you're having an excellent day. Cheers. Bye now.